That's funny.
All right, welcome back, everyone. This is late game episode 30. I am here with Destiny, In Control, and Combat X. What is this, 2012? Anyway, uh,
All right. I just got to see
cool beans.
services.
All right, so this is the part of the show where we talk about Combat X. So for those of you who don't know, I said it at the beginning. I'll say it one more time. I'm new, so Combat X is new to me. This is all cool. Like the amount of excitement that I saw when Combat X posted that video, it got me a little hype, and I was like, oh man, this is like when I started World of Warcraft in vanilla. I still missed a really good part of vanilla World of Warcraft. So this is like me getting to travel back in the time machine and go play patch 1.2 when rogues were still broken. Okay, so this is excitement for me. So I'm going to talk about old stuff. We're going to talk about new stuff. But Combat X, right? You look back at your time in StarCraft, and a lot of controversy, a lot of anger towards you, right? Uh, did it take a lot of working yourself up to come back to the scene?
Not really, to be honest. I mean, yeah, I had a lot of hate like that, but at the same time, I had a lot of people that love me, and I mean, the haters kind of don't message you after 3 years, but the fans are usually still around. So I had people messaging me occasionally, like, "Hey, Legacy Boy's coming out. Hey, you're gonna graduate. Like, you should totally give this a shot." And then I also thought about it. I was like, "Yeah, it's a pretty good opportunity." So no, I had no like hesitation like that at all. I don't give a fuck.
Okay, cool. Can you say easy? This has been a request by everyone.
Easy.
Is that how you used to say easy?
Honestly, I used to type it in pylons, and like I still kind of do it. Like I don't BM, but like I don't think that's BM. I'm allocating a lot of my resources to like, well, typing easy on the map. But yeah,
Wait, you used to make like pylon easy out of
yeah.
pylons? Okay, that's pretty cool.
Let's
Uh,
try.
so do you know what RAM is?
Yes, I learned where RAM was cache, RAM, and then like the actual memory and stuff. Like it's good shit.
I watched that video the other day, and that was like I get it, man. I totally get it. Like someone that you,
He knew what he like. He thought he knew everything, and so he confidently spoke about things that he knew nothing about, which led to not knowing what RAM was.
yeah, I am
Who's
at.
this?
There was a prank call with Steven and Combat X, and Steven had him. There's a website that is actually used to prank people where you tell them to download RAM, and
Yeah.
I tried. I really did. I was hopeful.
And there's this whole part where he's like, "Nah, you're full of shit, man. I know you can't do that. RAM is hardware." He says it, but because Steven is such a smooth talker, it was like, "Ah, all right, I guess you're right, man." He's like, "Oh man, I think it's going faster." And it was, ah,
It was. I swear to God, it was going faster. I think the bandwidth must have been
Next,
just.
you need to get a psychology minor so you can realize the power of the placebo and how placebo literally can cure diseases. It's pretty fucking crazy.
ah,
This is why double blind trials exist.
ah, cool. So, all right. So you're coming back. You've got this history, right? Is there anything in particular that you regret, like that you truly wish had not taken place when you were here before?
Uh, I mean, like everything I kind of did that was shitty. I don't know. I mean, like nothing in particular, to be honest. I don't think I did anything. There was a rumor going around that I asked for like a donation for a fake illness. Like that's not true. I mean, that's a really.
What?
So I just want to clarify that that's not true. But like, as far as stream sniping, stream cheating, shit talking everyone, like, yeah, they're all shitty things, and like nothing that was like super bad. So like, nothing in specific I regret. I guess the specific incidents that I do regret was spamming in control when he was playing. That was the one incident that actually got me banned from Team Liquid, and threw my chances of streaming on there. So
Wait, what
yeah.
did you do? I'm sorry.
In control was streaming
Forever ago.
way back in like 2010,
Okay.
11, God knows when, and I stream sniped him and just spammed the shit out of him, and then that was the incident that got me banned from Team Liquid, and well, it got me banned from streaming from Team Liquid, and then yeah, ever since then, I guess that's the one incident I kind of regret. Sorry, in control.
Oh, no worries. You also probably shouldn't have played a bet money game with me.
Yes, I
Right.
only a lot of money right now.
So, all right.
He also played a match. Now, this, I will say, Combat X is a pretty good man of his word. He played me in a tournament. He lost really bad the first round. We played again, and he said, if I lose this series, I will retire from StarCraft. And as a man of his word, after he lost that series,
Peace.
he mostly retired, yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, Obama said that if he didn't get certain things done, he wouldn't run for re-election. He He didn't keep that promise. He's the president of the United States, but here we have Combat X keeping his word. So
Fuck back, baby.
yeah, so yeah, there's like I imagine there was a statute of limitations on that, right? It's like I'm only gonna retire for so long.
No, he did retire. He didn't say he was going to stay retired. He's
Yeah,
fine.
true,
He
yeah.
just said he would retire, and he fucking did. That's
I
more
was-
quality than most people.
Okay, so are you IP banned from Team Liquid, or can you go back?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I think I'm IP banned, except I think I was IP banned when I was at a different IP. So
It seemed like would actually ban you from visiting the site or just from posting.
It used to be if you get banned, you get redirected to Disneyland's website.
Oh, nice.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, I think I'm permanently banned. It's not like I think that there hasn't been any talk about it in a while, and like I have no idea. I don't know what Team Liquid's doing these days. I don't know if they hate me or not, but
So are you gonna try to actively repair any kind of broken relationships with the community, like with certain people in the community, like, to include Team Liquid, with your return?
I do have plans for that, but like nothing in the short term. I mean, I'm friends with a lot of the top players. I was talking to Scarlet, I talked to Destiny earlier, I talked to Desro still, and just like I'm gonna practice and I'm gonna play with the people that I know that are already popular, and then hopefully when I start doing things that are not shitty and ideally constructive and positive, then I can like be like, hey, all right, like, what do you say?
Mm-hmm.
Not right off the bat. I don't want to come back and be like, all right, Team Liquid, let's talk like sponsorship. Let's talk like getting on Team Liquid and getting on featured streams. So give it some time, and then maybe in the future. Depends on how they feel.
Okay, so let's talk about outside of StarCraft. You leave the StarCraft scene, you go finish college. What's been up? You get married? You do anything crazy? Anything silly happen?
I got into League after I quit StarCraft. Destiny was around when I first started. I only played AD carry, obviously, and I got pretty good. I got to Diamond 2, which is like, it's pretty good. And then, yeah, I ended up quitting League. I was going through school throughout this entire time, so I ended up graduating just in April. I got into drugs, which was fun, and then other than that, nothing really. Those are the big highlights of my life, to be honest.
So is the drug thing done, or was that still ongoing?
Well, yeah, it's done.
Is the what
You don't
thing the
have to answer
drug
that as your lawyer, Combat X.
Wait,
you don't
Is the
answer
what
that.
thing the drug thing?
He just said he got into drugs.
Not prescribed drugs, by the way.
Oh, there we go.
No, I'm not talking anything illegal. What are you guys talking about?
What?
No, I don't know. I mean, I smoke weed, but that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Oh, there goes
So-
your chance of getting back in the StarCraft.
I'm gonna bring up something that I heard. It might not be true. It might be true, but I heard that you got into League. You were actually on an LCS team, and then.
Deezer, you're mixing up with Deezer.
Oh, okay. Never mind. All right. Cool.
And that is actually one of the best moments of the StarCraft community ever.
What the?
Still not sure how I feel about that. After seeing. I don't remember I talked about it on this show, or was this something I talked to somebody else
It's
about?
weird hearing how much sympathy you like. Maybe you forgot, Steve.
So here's like the thing: as you get more
Yeah.
involved in YouTube, right? So when you have people shit talking you on like 4chan or Reddit,
Do people-
or like a Twitch chat, right? It's just like random. It's like fucking random anonymous people, and you fucking hate them, and it's like they're just stupid. But when people do it on YouTube, it's different because when they do it on YouTube, you can click their picture and you can look at their channels, and you can see
Oh, yeah, yeah.
archives of videos of like
Facebook
one or
too.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Facebook too. Yeah, some guy did it to me on Twitter recently, and it was like too much. Like some random guy was like, he tweeted at me and Case John. He's like, "So what are you horrors gonna do for money when people stop donating to fulfill you because you have no job skills or whatever?" Right? So I clicked this guy's Twitter, and he had his LinkedIn linked, and his whole past was like worked for a shop for mom and dad, went to school. He posted all of his grades online, and they were all like C's, and like so I just like went off for like an hour until like deleted his Twitter account, right? But like after you see somebody in real life, it's weird. So like Deezer has always been this like malignant fucking piece of shit, malicious fucking asshole that like does this horrible shit, and then you see him on the
Yeah.
LCS screen trying to like lick his eyeball with his tongue, and his lips are fucking huge, and he just
Yeah.
looks like a fucking retard. And it's like, God, you don't. At that point, I don't know. Like even as heartless as I come across, even at that point, I can't even like condone like making
That's
fun of
good.
him. 'Cause- it just-
Steven, because I'm like capitalism embodied. I'm like, nope, your past sins come back to get you, and everyone.
I
like,
don't even know.
It's like he's a stream cheater, son of a bitch, and they're like, oh, we didn't know that. Sorry, he's off. And then guess what? Deezer's never been heard of again. He's like,
yeah,
got
he really
ruined.
hasn't been.
He kicked off because he was like a piece of shit in StarCraft.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a malicious
Like
piece of shit.
witch
Like,
hunted him off of the fucking LCS shit.
Steven's his forgiveness is admirable, but I remember tuning into his stream where he's like, Hour 6, fucking Deezer again. Like, there he is. And he's
Well,
just
I
like,
got banned from Battle.net for a week on my account, remember? Because we figured out how to DDoS people in game, and I didn't do it.
Oh my god.
All right,
the worst.
so what we were talking about, Steven, those not knowing how you feel is that he got, kicked off LCS team because of StarCraft
His team was
community.
going to Challenger, and it was announced that Deezer was on that team, and he was actually legitimately pretty good. And then everyone in StarCraft contacted him and said, this guy was the worst of the worst in our community. Like, he actually took money from people and made their experiences really bad. And they're like, oh, we didn't know that, sorry. And then they just kicked him off.
And I mean,
Good night.
did he turn over a new leaf when he went to League? Was he not a piece of
No.
shit in
Did
League?
he turn over a new leaf?
I don't think he was cheating, like even stream cheating anymore,
Probably
but
not.
like he was still like a pretty blatant kind of
He was
troller.
like, he had a modest 700, tribunal, like, whatever they're called, hearings or something like that. Combat X, tell us about that. Like, tell us about your experience with the tribunal. Like, I have to imagine
My
you've
God.
got some stories.
Do I have stories? I have like 7 accounts that are all like pretty much it's rough. Like I got banned so many times. I didn't learn my lesson. Like the only reason I stopped
Yeah.
doing that was I was like, I have an account in platinum. Like I don't want to get to platinum again. So I was like, fuck it, just mute everyone at the start of every game. Still got banned, but like nothing perma, so that was good.
My
Yeah,
But-
God.
I've only heard.
It's
I've heard
rough.
legends of League of Legends community.
In StarCraft, when you shit talk, it's like there's one-on-one. Like you can't really you can't blame anyone. That's the West. In League, you can blame someone, and like you always blame someone for your mistakes, obviously. So it's like, oh my god, you support. What the fuck? Why didn't you flash lantern me there?
Yeah.
You know.
All right, so, Jesus. Okay, so you finished college, right? When did you graduate? Did you just graduate just this year?
I graduated like a month and a half ago. I actually got a job in Minneapolis, but then the training kind of like fucked up a bit. They postponed it a little bit, and I was like, I don't want to postpone that. Like the one thing I like about being in CS is like the demand's pretty high, so I can just be like, oh, you're not treating me like I want. Fuck it, I'm out. And so now I'm looking for a job, and yeah, I'm gonna be doing that during the day, and then playing StarCraft during the evenings.
Okay, so you're going to be streaming. Are you living at home, or do you live on your own? What goes on with that?
I just moved back with my parents
Okay.
a month ago, and yeah, I'll be living here. Probably gonna be ideally. If I find a job in Toronto, I'll ideally just be living here for like a while, and it's like a perfect setup. I have my entire gaming computer here. Everything's here. My mom makes all my food, so yeah. Here so far, and then yeah.
Okay. So what is the future for you? Are you going to start streaming? You still have access to your account? What goes on with your future and the game?
I think I have a friend that works for Twitch, and he helped me get all my account set up, and like I'm pretty sure I still have it like good. It's all there. I just haven't checked it in a while. Yeah, I plan to be streaming my training sessions. Like the one thing I kind of regret when I came back last time was I didn't really. Sorry. I didn't really stream my sessions, and like now I feel like, and I started off at kind of the same place I started off right now. Like I was in platinum, and then I climbed my way up to grandmaster, and I started off in platinum this time too, and like now I'm climbing my way up. So yeah, just streaming all my training sessions, and like I think it's fun because I make up all my builds. I don't get my builds off anyone else, and so it leads to pretty entertaining sessions.
So how are you going to catch up on the meta? Like you're not going to use anyone's builds. Are you watching other streams
No,
or?
I'm purposely not watching Heart of the Swarm because I'm playing it, and I don't want to use like things that are in the meta because like the way I see it is like I've always considered myself an innovator, and like if I can kind of just infer what's in the meta based on playing it and losing against it, I can get a much better understanding on how to counter it, as opposed to like, oh yeah, like that's the standard thing to do, and like let's follow that blindly, and then kind of figure out by following it blindly on why it's good. I don't like that method. I rather learn from losing to it and then figuring out how to beat it afterwards. And like I already have a PvP build that's like dummying anything in the meta right now. It's just Mass Phoenix, but like in a really, really clever way where you block off your ramp with like your first 2 or 3 buildings, and yeah, I don't know what's in the meta right now, but nothing beats that so far. So yeah, I don't know, it's fun shit.
All right, cool. So anything else you want to talk about real quick? Anything that you just want to talk to the community? I know in your video you kind of addressed some of the past issues and all that.
Yeah, I think I addressed most of it in like my own video. Nothing in particular, to be honest. I mean, I'm coming back. I'm ready to tear shit up. I'm hoping that a lot of people, like, I'm glad that me and Control are on good terms. Like, I'm hoping a lot of people that I was on bad terms with previously are well, more forgiving, I guess. But yeah, just slow and steady, right?
Yeah.
One step at a time.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's get into the questions. There are a lot of questions. This is a huge thread today. Not surprised. So just bear with me while I go through this. Best 69 in Control Combat X? Anyone?
Yeah. I'm pretty bad right now, to be honest. Give me a little bit of time to practice.
All right, so here's a question. This I'll send it to Steven first, but it's also for In Control. Do you have any thoughts on Combat X coming back to the scene?
I mean, I think most people think it's an overwhelmingly good thing. The more people that come back, the better. And it seems like he's not going to be as much of an asshole as he was before. Although, to be honest, even if he was the same as he was before, I still think it would be an okay thing.
Jeff?
I mean, people have a threshold of like, for me, if you do certain things, I'll hold a grudge. But Combat X never did any of that shit. Like, he was an annoying young man who sounds like he's matured and graduated from college and wants to play video games. Who the fuck would say no to that? That's awesome. More power to him. But people that like stole money and did really really bad things, yeah, I would rather they didn't come back. Combat X wasn't like that, so it's fine.
All right, there we go. Combat X, this question's for you. The time you actually took a map off parting and proceeded to proxy 2 Gate, the final game, I was fucking eating my ramen and threw away all of my study notes because I was so fucking hyped. This is what I think of one of your greatest legacies. This time, what do you want to leave the StarCraft scene with?
What do I
So
wanna leave
basically, he's saying you know that's one of the greatest things is when you took that map off parting. What do you want to leave the StarCraft scene with this time around?
Oh,
2 games off.
honestly, like I actually didn't get to talk about that, and like I guess this is a pretty good time to. I kind of just quit after I played that, and it was like a really personal thing. But I actually wanted to win. I had no expectation of losing, to be honest. But to talk a little bit about that, if you guys watch the games, I actually did the exact same build game 1 and game 2, and it's because I was actually I was confident that build was pretty much close to unbeatable. Like I was experimenting with a lot of builds at the time, and like the only reason I lost in game 1 was. He was just his micro was just fucking way better than mine, and like the third expansion, I don't know, like a lot of small things, but like yeah, I don't know. In game 3, I proxy 2-gated because I when I going into the actual tournament, I was like, in the BO3s, I'm always gonna cheese on the third game, just because I don't know. It's like it's least expected in the third game, in my opinion, and especially if you're playing straight in the first 2. I knew I was gonna cheese going into the tournament, and so I was like, yeah. Third game came around, and I was like, yep, I'm gonna cheese him regardless, and it actually like worked out completely as it should have. Like he went for the safest, greediest possible build, and I don't know. I was really happy that I was able to just come up with my own shit and take it to the world champion, and make it actually work. And I feel like if I can do that once before, I can do it again. Like my APM was like 130. Even when I was playing against partying, my APM was like 130, 140. I always just do weird shit, and that's why a lot of people hated me, to be honest, because like I was a stream cheater and stuff, but like I was also a really good cheeser, and that's why we had this talk about cheesing earlier. Like I think cheese is a huge part of the game, and like I spend a lot of time. Even now, I'm still spending a lot of time mastering my cheeses and like making sure the counter rushes and like proxy gates are like on par, exactly where they should be placed. And I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, I'm gonna be practicing a lot of my cheese, a lot of my legit play, and hopefully come up with some really cool builds.
Awesome. All
That's
right.
kind of what I'll leave to the scene, I guess. Just random new builds.
All right. So you think that you're actually gonna, and I don't mean this condescendingly. I just mean you think you have what it takes to rise to the top of the foreign scene, if not the world.
I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't want to say yes because, like, honestly, I'm only playing like 4, maybe 5 hours a day, and back when I was, I guess back when I was doing professional gaming, I was also playing that much. But I'm definitely gonna try. I don't know how good people are these days. I've heard people are worse these days than they were before, and if that's the case, then fuck you. I'm going to be one of the best foreigners. But if that's not the case, then like I don't know.
Okay.
I don't
So
know. I can't speculate. I don't know how good other people are. I want to. It's my goal.
all right. Before we came on stream, we were talking about if you're going to do HOTS or Legacy of the Void, right? Knowing that it's likely that Legacy of the Void's coming out like the last 3 months of the year. Someone asked, what will you be streaming next week?
I'm probably gonna start off with HOTS just because I really want to get like at least top 50 Grandmaster before I go into Legacy of the Void. Not for any reason other than the fact that I just want to make sure I'm still like up there. Now might not be one of the top players, but like I don't know. If I'm getting ranked 50, top 50 Grandmaster within like a week or two, then I feel comfortable switching over to Legacy of the Void without a big disadvantage.
Okay. Jeff, this one's for you.
Yeah.
Is J-Dong living in his team house? If so, is he enjoying it? On stream, he seems a little sulky living the pro gamer life.
Jadong, he just kind of wears his heart on his sleeve. Like, he was probably just tired from travel and stuff like that. He doesn't have to do this if he doesn't want to. He had options on every single Kespa team, obviously, and any team would take him, and he took EG because they're not forcing him into a sweatshop situation where he's grinding away 20 hours a day. So he's living in our pro gaming house here in California, and as far as I know, he goes for runs, he eats out, and sees a different part of the world and is enjoying himself. He's probably a little bit lonely because he's the only Korean there.
Yeah.
But in all my experience with Jaedong, he's like really adventurous and outgoing and willing to just kind of experience things, which is, I think, is a pretty damn cool quality about him. So I think he's all right.
All right. This is another one for you. He says that he heard that EG's Heroes team isn't EG anymore. Did anything happen? What are Idra and LZ Gamer at now?
So that kind of stuff, like, I used to be more involved with just because I was around the people that made those decisions a lot more often. I don't know for sure, but as far as I know, it's not a secret, and I was told that no, they disbanded, and we don't have a Heroes team right now. This could be completely wrong. Like, Alex could just text me right now and be like, "You fucking idiot, we have 5 Heroes teams." I don't know, but from what I understand, we don't have one. Idra's just going back to being like a student that plays Heroes as opposed to trying to be a pro Heroes player, and
Do you
I think
to
LZ
ask
Gamers
on
are
that,
another team.
What
What's up?
I thought that he was like taking like Heroes like really seriously. Did he just decide it wasn't
I
for
think
him?
he was
or-
for a period of time, yeah. I don't talk to Greg too terribly often. Like, we're really good friends, but we're the kind of friends that we don't talk super often. So all I can tell you is that he's more muscular now than he's ever been before. The guy's fucking yoked, which is really weird on his little tiny Idra body with all that rage. But outside of that, I don't know if he has plans of... I think from the very beginning, Heroes was like a game that he enjoyed, a genre that he particularly enjoyed. He actually always liked Dota more than anything else. And then it kind of like, people are like, "Oh, Idra," you know, and he got kind of swept back into that. But I think to a core, Greg's kind of, if I had to guess, he's kind of done with competing. He just wants to be a little math scientist that fills out his clothes really well.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. Let's see what else we got. Combat X.
Was
So
good.
a couple of these have already been asked. What kind of time do you allow yourself? Are you going to allow yourself to become dominant? So how much time are you going to be spending
I'm
practicing?
glad that was asked because I was going to mention it regardless. I really want to. So I'm the kind of guy that can play a game for like 16, 17 hours a day and like just do it and like do it with passion. Just fucking be. I'm an addict. Like, I love doing shit like that, and I'd love to devote that kind of time to StarCraft as long as I'm making like the financial gains from it. So like, I'm going into CS because there's money in it and I'm broke. If I'm making money off StarCraft enough to be able to play it more and more, I'll be investing a linear amount of time proportional to how much money I'm making. And so yeah, that's gonna come down to you know, just that's that. I gotta
Okay.
look for a job, but if I don't need a job, then fuck it, right? Let's go play StarCraft.
Okay, I have a question. I kind of asked you about mending relationships from the past, but are you going to actually actively focus cultivating a better image for yourself this time to make sure that you have a better perception in the community?
I guess to answer that question, I'd like to think I've matured a little bit, and I'm gonna be myself. I'm not gonna be anyone I'm not, and like even before, I was myself. Yeah, I just happen to be a little arrogant and a lot of other things. But now, yeah, I'm gonna be myself. I'm not gonna have a filter. I'm not gonna. I like to think I'm a pretty nice guy now, so that's why if being myself should ideally prove worthy enough to like mend relationships and whatnot.
Okay. Let's see. You are going to be at Toronto then? Yes.
Yeah, I'm definitely here for the next few months. Depending on where I get a job, I might be in Silicon Valley, but if not that, then most likely Toronto.
You're going to be at WCS Toronto, 26th.
Oh, for that, yeah.
Yep.
Fuck yeah, 100%.
All right, there you go, guys. So there's another reason to go to Toronto, other than the fact that historically Toronto puts out some sick-ass tournaments. Let's see. What else we'll get? all right, here's one. How did you feel after taking that map off parting?
Oh my god.
Like not I like again I maybe it's me being cocky, but like I did not expect to lose going into that tournament, that match. Like I know everyone else in the entire world expected me to lose, but like I was like, I'm gonna 2-0 you, and like this because I don't play I don't play the game like I'm playing an opponent. I'm playing Protoss versus Zerg, Protoss versus Protoss, Protoss versus Turret, and I try to play the perfect game. So like for me, it's like I have a build, and this is the build I'm gonna do, and like I'm playing against a Protoss player. I'm a computer scientist, so I map out all the possible strategies you can do. And even in the time, I still did that. I mapped out all possible strategies Protoss, Terran, Zergs do, and then I had all my reactions accordingly. And like, if I ever lost games, it was usually because like I did my mechanics were like I have a fucking 120 APM. Like you can't do much with that. So I don't know. I mean, like I didn't like I was happy, but like at the same time, it was like let's fucking go to game 3. Let's kill him.
Okay. Let's see. I think we have a couple more. 1 second, I want to read this one. Okay. I think this question has good intentions with it. In control, you've played a major role in the success of esports. Now there are personalities like DJ Wheat and Mr. Bitter who have made bank, but the actual players who have helped build the scene have been mostly left behind. How do you feel when you see top players having to ask for donations to survive?
Yeah, okay. I think you're right. I think that was mostly meant to be a good question. I don't think so. There's a couple of funny things about this. Like, I think there's this misconception, I guess is the word I want to go with, where people think like everyone has a right to be a pro gamer, or like pro gaming is this like really admirable thing that if you just gosh darn it, if you buckle down and try, then everyone should be able to do it. Like, no, it's actually a hyper, I don't want to say exclusive, but like difficult thing to achieve. It means you're playing video games for a living. It means you are doing something that many, 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 many more people would like to do, but cannot make work, and you figured out some way to do that. So in our world, that's competitive. That's esports. That means you're winning tournaments. You're sponsored. You're casting tournaments. You're doing some part of that production, which we saw in 2010 had this big bubble of people that were able to do it. But even then, it was hard to do. And that bubble's shrunk now. There's less casting gigs. There's less teams that are hiring StarCraft players in particular, but because I guess that's what this question's framed towards.
Mm-hmm.
And it's becoming even more exclusive. So the people that are trying to make that work are doing things like having subs on their stream. They're actually accepting donations. When, again, if you go back to 2010, accepting donations was way more controversial and rare. Like, very few people were doing that. Whereas now, it's the standard. And that's largely in part because ad rev on Twitch is atrocious. You just can't rely on that. So you have to go to subs and donations to hope to make a living off of that. So the idea of they were like left behind and big personalities made bank, like it's funny he included Mr. Bitter. Mr. Bitter works for Red Bull. Like he works a really fucking hard job that he got through connections in gaming, which is one of the good stories of gaming. Like that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And he's reaching out and he's doing fun tournaments that are hoping to give other pro gamers opportunities. So again, I think he was well intended, but he's got to be, to that person, just be careful with the way you say it, because there's people that really care. And then like DJ Wheat as well is working behind the scenes to make it so that more people can become pro gamers or pro streamers, whatever you want to call it, on Twitch, because he's trying to make it more viable. So I'm more speaking to the philosophy and the idea of like, gosh darn it, I put college on hold, and I was, I used to stream to 15 people, but now I stream to 25. And I just see these people that don't know how good they got it, and they're fucking idiots, and I hate them. And it's like, well, no, slow it down there, bro. Like, pro gaming is super difficult and hard to achieve, and the ones that do are going to do whatever they have to hold on to that, because it's awesome. Like Steven. Steven found Witcher. I mean, where would he be without Witcher 3, And
Have you played it at all yet?
It's a fucking great game. It's awesome.
How much time have you put into it?
None. No, I don't play sandbox games like
Oh, wait, you don't play... Do you play, like, RPGs?
I do, but only on console, because it limits my time. If I'm at the computer, I spend more time on it. I was like gonna try to tease you, but there's no tease there.
That game is legitimately like probably the best game that's come out in the past
I know.
like decade. In 10 years, like holy fuck, like people
It's
are gonna be
fucking
talking about
That
it.
good?
I watched
Really?
you play it actually.
Wow.
It's really cool.
But
But
oh
but
yeah,
again,
that's
like I
good.
said,
It's
the idea
fucking
of
good.
like they have to get donations to survive. Sorry, that's like everyone. Like every stream accepts donations now, and it's not because they won't have dinner that night if they don't get donations. It's because that is now how streamers make their money, and streamers are pro gamers largely in part. It's usually one and the same. There's like the hyper elite, the Koreans and the top tier Europeans and stuff like that don't do anything else but compete. But even they're like, God, I hope Legacy of the Void's great, because if it's not, I'm going to be out of a job probably, or I'm going to be making a lot less.
I can.
Did somebody just say ooh, or was that
That
somebody?
was the
That was the
phone,
phone.
but I thought for a second someone did. I was like, oh shit! I was like, that's not.
All right.
True.
So let me refresh one more time, see if we have anything else. But otherwise, I think that's the end of the questions, Jeff. That was a great answer. Thank you.
Yeah.
So with that, wrapping it up, let me just say that I'm really glad we had you on Combat X.
Thank you.
You were actually able to participate throughout, despite being gone. So I'm very happy about that. And it was really good to have you on. So I hope that as you get more into the StarCraft scene, we'll definitely have you on more. But with that, since you're the newest guy, why don't you tell people where they can find you? I'm sure you're going to be back on social media and Twitch and all that. People want to know where they can see you.
My Twitch TV, just Twitch TV/CombatX. I don't know. My YouTube video has all the links, so I guess if someone can link the YouTube video in the chat, they can find all the other links there. I don't know. I don't do this, but like, I haven't done it in a while, so I don't really know what I'm supposed to shout out. But like, everything's on my YouTube. You can go check it out there.
There you go. Booyakasha. All right, Jeff, glad to have you back. What's going on in your world? Like, is there going to be something coming up with Jeff?
Yeah, that's the funny thing is like, if I do have a casting gig, it's either they announce it or I can't say anything. So I have
Just
nothing
keep
to
our
report
ears
in
to
that
the ground.
regard. I stream on Twitch and Control TV as always. As Steven pointed out ever so kindly, I've been playing some CSGO as well. So StarCraft 2, CSGO, Legacy of the Void, that kind of stuff.
What
Enjoying
what
all.
are you up to in CS:GO? What league?
I was Distinguished Master Guardian, and then I got my ass handed to me, and I've D-ranked to Master Guardian Elite.
Not too
Just
bad.
like perfectly in the middle. It's pretty okay. Outside of that, I play a lot of Warhammer. There's going to be a little bit more content in that regard on my YouTube once I get my terrain and my next army. So if that excites you at all, you can look forward to that. And all that stuff gets advertised on my Twitter, EG in Control. Whatever I'm going to stream, I tweet there. Whatever I'm doing, I tweet there. So just, if you want, check it out.
Awesome. Thank you for coming on, In Control. And
Thank
Steven, so you still doing Witcher? Is it done yet?
Not yet. I've put probably 100 plus hours into it and I haven't finished it yet.
Jesus Christ. All right, so are you doing every quest, or are you...
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Okay, so you're going for the full clear then. Are any of you excited for Fallout 4?
Fuck yeah. Kidding me? And XCOM 2, November. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Combat X, you a Fallout fan?
No, I play StarCraft, and that's literally all I'm gonna do.
There you go. Steven, you like Fallout?
That's like a whole other discussion. I'm not a big fan of Bethesda games, actually.
Okay.
For a lot of the reasons why I like the Witcher. I plan on playing The Witcher 3 and like just kind of like playing a little bit of it and then quitting it because I thought it was going to be like Bethesda games. I don't know. Bethesda does a lot of things in their games that I'm not a big fan of. I think it's like a stylistic choice. It's not like an objectively bad thing. But like, for instance, like the blank slate main character that doesn't talk, doesn't have a face, doesn't have a history or anything, like I'm not really a big fan of those kinds of RPGs. I feel like I don't like the stories as much. So I really didn't like Skyrim at all.
Okay.
Sure.
I played a decent amount of Fallout 3, and I played a little bit of New Vegas, and they all kind of followed that pattern. So, also the side content in a lot of the Bethesda games, at least into the Fallout 3 game and the Skyrim, I thought was like really weak. Like you could walk to a place, pick up an item, and then take it back to somebody. Skyrim was notoriously horrible for side content. I felt like a lot of the side content in Skyrim fell short. Go to a dungeon, kill some thieves, get an object, bring it back to a guy.
Yeah,
That sounds fair.
that's fair.
Yep. Okay.
Hopefully, but I mean, Fallout 4 is a huge fucking announcement, and I saw
Yeah.
that they just announced it today. So that's pretty fucking crazy. Yeah, that'll be a huge release.
I'm excited.
I think you would agree with a couple of the comments that I like that were in line with what you're saying is I hope that Witcher 3 makes it so that Fallout 4 has to step up their game. Like they know that they can't get away with the stuff you just mentioned. That'd be cool.
It's well, like again, I want to be careful to say that everything that I'm saying that's not like objectively bad thing. Some people like the blank slate character, so they can kind of like insert their own personality or whatever. So
well, deeper side content I think is universally.
Yeah.
That's pretty easy to say. They could do better.
I can agree with that. All right, guys. Well, I think it's been a great episode. Hey, Jeff. Normally when I'm on, I try to milk you for all I can. We go to 3-4 hour episodes. We managed this one under 2 hours. I think we're doing an hour and a half. So.
I think that's mostly because Destiny doesn't play StarCraft and Combat X just came back. But yeah. Good.
Hey, it's good nonetheless. Good results. For everyone watching, before the show we did an interview with Richard Lewis. We just got through like a lot of his backstory.
Well, there's your 4-hour content.
Yeah. So actually, it's going so long that we're going to resume it right after the show. So we're going to hop off and take a couple-second break to get things set up.
Oh, it's still going?
Yeah. So.
How long has it been?
90 minutes so far.
Okay.
So it's not terrible, and we're gonna go in. We just got to the part where we've talked about his past as growing up, his father, and now we're gonna talk about we're actually getting into the esports stuff. So you want to stick around? We're gonna be talking about all that, and that'll be in roughly 5 to 10 minutes. So don't go anywhere. We're gonna be right back. But again, I want to say thank you to my guests in Control, Destiny, Combat X. You're all great to have, and we'll be back with more StarCraft content next week. Hit that follow button, and we'll see you around. Talk to you soon.
Peace.